You are listening to the Next Play podcast, the playbook for high-performing leaders who want to exceed their full potential. From walking on the Ole Miss football team at 5'7", 150 pounds and earning a full D1 scholarship, to coaching thousands around the world and working with massive organizations like IBM. I've learned countless lessons that I'll be sharing right here with you. Join me as I interview some of the most successful people so you too can learn how to focus on always moving forward by deciding, planning, and executing on the next play relentlessly. All right, awesome. We are up and rolling, and it's yours truly, Richie Contartesi, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, with another amazing weekly live webinar on an amazing topic, right? Something that we've kind of talked about in the past, but added a whole nother layer to this based on, all the direction that we're going and so many things that we've added and improved. And it's really interesting how we've taken this dynamic of a growth mindset, added a layer to it, and now it's like next level. So super, super excited to go through this with you today. Today, we're going to be talking about how to develop a growth mindset. How to develop a growth mindset. Now, there's 3 types of mindsets, not 2, right? We've learned in the past that there's 2 types of mindsets. There's a fixed mindset, and then there's a growth mindset. There's a fixed mindset, and then there's a growth mindset, right? This is what we've learned in the past. Today, we're going to be talking about a third mindset, and that's something that I've talked about a little bit, and that's the relentless mindset. So we have a fixed mindset, a growth mindset, and a relentless mindset. And so today, we're going to talk about the difference between all 3 of them and how you can shape your mind to embody the mindset that you want, right? It's the mindset that you want, not that I want, right? You decide. And I'm going to give multiple examples. I've created 3 people personas. We're going to go. Today's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I've created 3 different people to give you like a lot of perspective on how these mindsets work, how they shape your life, how you can embody them. And then at the end, I've added a bonus, and I'm going to be talking through how you can use these types of mindsets to lead others and to lead others to use these mindsets, right? The mindsets that you want them to use, of course. Probably not a fixed mindset, right? So really cool. Super pumped about this. So what's up, Siobhan? I see you guys. What's up, John? So let's jump right into this. Number 1, making the shift. Making the shift. So anybody can shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset to a relentless mindset. But here's the key. You can shift forward just as you can as fast as you can shift backwards. Like I find this all the time that sometimes I got this relentless mindset. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to grind. And the next morning I wake up and everything's went to hell and this happened and that happened. And I have a mindset of negativity. I have a mindset not of abundance, of scarcity. And I'm like, whoa. I'm totally in a fixed mindset mode right now, right? So you could just as fast as you could shift forward is as fast as you could shift backwards, right? It's just as fast. Right? Anybody can embody and embrace and use all 3 of these type of mindsets. Anybody can do it. It's a choice. It's a choice. And so today I'm going to give you that choice, right? And it's like you could be on either side, right? There's like a coin. There's 3 sides to a coin. There's not 2 sides to a coin. There's actually 3 sides to a coin, right? Each side, and then over the top that could see both sides, right? And what you'll find is when you make the shift, it will have a massive impact on you, your friends, your family, your work, and really in all areas of your life, right? It's going to have a massive impact in so many different areas of your life. You will see that you have a choice of a life full of adventure or a life that's boring. you'll have a choice. A life of adventure and the constant push to get better and improve and see what you're capable of and experiencing that massive rush of success that a lot of people chase, or a life of boring, of a life of mediocre, of a life of average. It's pretty powerful as we go through this here today. What's interesting is how your past, how you grew up, has a massive impact on your mindset today. It doesn't matter if you're 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, into your early 70s. Your past and your childhood has had a massive impact on your mindset today. And the more challenging of a past and a childhood that you had, and the more negativity, the more of a fixed mindset around you, the harder it is for you. No, it doesn't matter what age you are. The harder it is for you to make the switch and to keep the switch. So what leads to a growth mindset, right? What leads to a growth mindset? Rewarding hard work is the easiest way to lead to a growth mindset. By far, the easiest way. So for example, like rewarding a student for an A in a test, or someone in sales for hitting a goal, or an employee for hitting a goal, or an executive for getting that bonus, or an athlete for rushing for 200 yards in a game or 2,000 yards in a season, right? But not just rewarding the end result, but rewarding the hard work, the effort that it took to actually do it. This goes for your kids. This goes for your colleagues, employees, leadership. It doesn't matter, right? So for example, if you're, you see this all the time with kids, right? If you reward kids for getting an A, that's great, and you should. But if you want your kids to have a growth mindset, then reward them for the 3 hours they did the night before of doing their homework. Reward your sales team for the 100 calls they made the day before. Or practicing catching 500, that's a lot. Maybe practice catching 100 balls every day for the last 7 days. Right? This is how some people develop skills for resiliency, for example, like your kids or your leadership team or your teachers, right? Rewarding hard work is the easiest way to do it. So if when you were younger, if nobody was ever rewarding you for hard work, then your mindset is going to be very fixed, right? Let alone relentless. We're not even on that yet. We're literally not even on that yet. So I have a story I'm going to share with you in a little bit, but let's jump into the 3 types of people. How many people? How many people? 3. There's 3, not 2, 3. So here we go. Let me show you what I'm referring to. So here's the 3 types of mindsets. We're going to have fun today, right? I said we're going to have fun. There's 3 types of mindsets, right? And today I'm going to break down 5 categories, mindset categories. There's probably hundreds of them, but we're going to break down 5 to make it really, really simple for you. And that's going to be challenges, obstacles, effort, criticism, and the success of others, right? And so here are the 3 people from left to right, all right? And so on the left over here, this is Johnny. And Johnny has a fixed mindset, right? So he believes that you either have the skills or you don't. You either have the habits or you don't. You either have the great childhood or you don't. You either have removed the interference from your life and you have that skill and you're able to do that, or you don't. That's it. It's cut and dry. You do, you don't. You have it, you don't. And that's it. Bonnie, on the other hand right here, has a growth mindset. And she believes that everything can be learned if you want it bad enough. Anything can be learned if you want it bad enough. And a lot of you may be sitting right here, right? Or when Bonnie, I can learn this, I can get this. That's why you're here. That's probably why you're on this live, right? Because you believe that it can be learned if you want it bad enough. Ronnie, on the other hand, he's got the gloves on, believes that everything can be learned. And I believe that I can be the best. Anything I want to do can be learned. And to take it a step further, I believe that I can be the best. I can actually do this. I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that I can do it. That's the difference. A growth mindset is great. Oh, it can be learned. Oh, I can help other people do it. No. I believe it can be learned. And I believe that I can be the best at it. That's the difference. Big difference. I believe I can be the best at it. So let's talk about a few different types of the mindset that we're referring to, right? So the first one we're going to talk about is challenges, right? Not issues. Really important. Challenges. Issues. No. They're just challenges. Things that are challenging you in your life, right? So Johnny, on the other hand, you remember Johnny, angry, mean Johnny, avoids challenges because he doesn't want to get laughed at because he cares about failing and what people think about him. So he's going to avoid challenges. He's going to pass them off to other people. He's here, you take this one. I can't handle it. Hey, boss, can you help me with this? Hey, coach, here. I don't. If I fail, people are going to laugh at me. So, these are some of those people that they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try out for the team, right? And they go and they go to the tryout, and then the one that's like playing around and everything out because they have one foot in. Because if they don't make the team, then they could be like, I was just kidding. Like those type of people. No. That's Johnny, right? Avoid challenges because he doesn't want to get laughed at because he cares about failing and what people think. Bonnie, the middle one, the middle girl, right? She's growth mindset. Embraces challenges because it will be fun and exciting. Bonnie understands that failure is a part of life and accepts it. Bonnie doesn't care what people think. She doesn't care. You can think whatever you want. But Bonnie understands failure is a part of life and accepts it. And Ronnie is the big one. Same thing, embrace challenges because it'll be fun and exciting and understands failure is a part of life. But Ronnie with the gloves, right? Ronnie will not accept failure and he will not stop until he succeeds. Big difference. Right? Bonnie doesn't care what people think. Bonnie knows failure is a part of life. Ronnie, on the other hand, will not accept failure and will not stop until he gets what he wants. He will not stop until he gets what he set out to succeed. Until he actually succeeds. That's the difference. The relentless mindset. The relentless mindset is not accepting failure. Yes, he understands failure is a part of life, but he doesn't just accept failure. No, he takes failure, learns from it, and will not stop until he succeeds. It could take him years, but he won't stop until he succeeds. It's very similar to, to when I was at Ole Miss, right? 4 years, year after year, walking up and not being on the list, not being on the travel squad every Thursday after practice for 3 years. Will not give up until they succeed. So where do you fall? Ronnie, Bonnie, or Johnny? Where are you when it comes to challenges? All right. The next one, the mindset around obstacles. So I'm going to give you an example for this one. This is how to play the drums, right? What I'm referring to right now is how to play the drums, right? Johnny, whenever it gets hard, what does he do? What does he do? He gives up and says things like, all obstacles, everything hard and negative happens to me. He says, I don't have the muscles in my hands. My hands are too small. That's what people used to say when I would catch the football. Oh, your hands are too small. He says, my muscles in my hands, they're not strong enough. I wasn't given big enough hands. So Johnny quits when it gets hard. He'll play a little bit, but when it gets hard, he quits. Bonnie says, all challenges in my life happen for me, not to me. That's the difference. Johnny says, everything happens to me. My hands are small. Oh, this and this. Bonnie says, everything happens for me and is an opportunity to learn and get better. Bonnie says, my hands are too small, but I'm gonna strengthen my hands. I'm going to strengthen my hand. I'm going to strengthen my muscles, so I can excel where others can't. So she says, hey, I'm going to take the fact that my hands are not strong enough, and I'm going to figure out how I can strengthen them and then use small, strong hands to my advantage that maybe some of the other drummers don't have. Right? I love this. This is exactly what I did with football. My hands were small. I had to strengthen them in order to palm the football. I couldn't palm it in the beginning. All the other players could palm it, and I couldn't. I had to figure out how to strengthen my hands, and I did all these exercises and all this stuff, and then I was able to palm it. And then I was able to do different things that they weren't able to, like, because my hands were smaller, get up under the DB's shoulder pads when the other players couldn't. And receivers were like, man, how do you do that? And I was like, oh, it's because I have small hands. And they're like, damn. Ronnie says, all changes in my life happen for me. And just like Bonnie says, and are an opportunity to learn and get better. But here's the difference. Ronnie uses obstacles as a chance to beat the competition. Right? Ronnie uses the obstacles as a chance to beat the competition. So I gave that example with the hands a little too early because I got all pumped up. But Bonnie, for example, will strengthen her hands so that she can play, so that she can compete. Ronnie will strengthen his hands and then figure out how to use that to his advantage. That's the difference. See, Bonnie's good. Growth mindset's good. Hey. Don't get it all messed up, right? Like, having a growth mindset is good, but hey, you're a relentless warrior. You're part of Relentless University because you want to be the best. Ronnie uses obstacles as a chance to beat the competition and to be the best. And how do we do that? How do we do that? We take whatever situation is in front of us, whatever obstacle is in front of us. We figure out how we can use that obstacle to get better. We get better, and then not only do we get better, but we take that getting better and we figure out how to use that getting better to beat the competition. That's a relentless mindset. That's relentless. Not just growth mindset, but relentless. The mindset around effort. Let's talk about effort, for example. Johnny likes the easiest possible route. How do I do this the easiest way? I want to work as little as possible because if I work too hard and I don't achieve it, then it won't be worth it. Remember the tryout? All Johnny cares about is the end result, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I care about the end result too. That's all he cares about. He doesn't want like the process. He's not interested in the process at all. I want the end result, but you gotta love the process too, right? So that's the difference. Bonnie loves the process, loves the rush during the process. So that's one of the things. I mean, people say like, "Hey, Richie, why do you constantly go through so much pain, so much negativity to get to an end result?" And that rush of success at the end result, when that end result was really challenging, is an addiction. And I'll admit, I'm addicted to that rush. So Bonnie loves the process, the rush, the adventure. All of this is an adventure, right? You don't have to go the long way, right? Like, Johnny doesn't like to go the long way. Neither do I. You don't have to go the long way. You just have to love the process. And that's a growth mindset, is to love the process, to enjoy the process, to understand that life is an adventure, not boring. But we take it one step further. We take it one step further. Ronnie loves the process, loves the rush during the process, the rush of the experience of working hard, but will keep working hard relentlessly until he wins. Ronnie doesn't care if people ahead of him are winning, faster, smarter, all that. So a lot of people, when it comes to effort, they'll work hard and then they'll see people that are more talented, that just keep going further and further and further and further in front of them. And they're not getting there as fast. Ronnie doesn't care if people are ahead of him and are winning and are faster and are smarter and more talented, but will just keep working hard until he wins. Right? Bonnie loves the process, loves the adventure, and so does Ronnie. But Ronnie says, hey, hold on a second. I do love this, but I also love the end result. And I will not stop until I win. And I don't care. I don't care what people think about me. Yes, we already talked about that. The difference is Ronnie doesn't care that other successful people are constantly getting further and further and further ahead, and he doesn't care. Effort in the end is the route to a less painful and fulfilling life. Let me repeat that. Effort in the end is the route to a less painful and fulfilling life. We talk about this a lot, right? Effort, going after something, pushing yourself, taking responsibility for your life, for your actions, for the decisions, choices, and actions that you take, right? Taking responsibility and moving forward and working hard, you'll find meaning, right? And the reason that people live a life of suffering and pain is because they don't have meaning. And so just putting in the effort and not stopping until you win and not caring that people are further ahead of you, faster than you, is going to help you find that meaning, right? Because that meaning for you is not the end result. The meaning is what that end result brings for you. So the end result might be getting this great promotion, or it could be starting this huge successful business that blows. The end result isn't the successful business. The end result isn't the job. The end result isn't getting into that college. The end result is what those things do for you. Starting that business, gets me freedom. Building my sales book of business, get that freedom, right? Have that financial freedom, whatever. Being able to play on that Division I football team or soccer team or whatever, right? Effort in the end is the route to a less painful and fulfilling life. So important. So important. All right, the next one. The mindset around criticism. Only two more. The mindset around criticism. I'm going to move quickly because we're running quick on time. The mindset around criticism. Johnny refuses criticism. Oh, you're going to talk about me? No. He refuses criticism because he believes all feedback is personal. You're saying that about me? Huh? About me? He doesn't want feedback. No. You're trying to talk bad about me. You're trying to tear me down. No. I don't want any feedback. No, not at all. Bonnie, on the other hand, knows that in order for her to grow and get better, she has to listen and take that feedback, right? And make a decision whether to use that feedback or not. She's literally grateful to get that feedback. Hey, yeah, I'll take that feedback. Not a problem. Give me that feedback. And then, you know what? I'll make a decision whether or not I'm going to implement that feedback. But I want it. I'm not going to take it personal. That's great. Ronnie, on the other hand, takes it one step further. Ronnie is the same as Bonnie, right? Except for he actually goes out looking for the feedback from people. And then we'll take that feedback. We'll decipher the feedback and implement it relentlessly and will not stop until it's implemented. So he's going to go out and say, hey, here's a survey. Here's this. How can I get better? How do I do this? And then he'll take that feedback. He'll look through and say, hey, this one looks good. This one looks good. Boom. And I'm going to take that one. Right? He also enjoys the negativity. Like other people avoid the negativity. He enjoys the negativity. He said, gives me that negative feedback. Hey, that puts a chip on my shoulder. That's what motivates me to be successful. All the negative feedback, all the criticism is what drives Ronnie to be successful. So my question for you is, what drives you to be successful? Are you going out and trying to get criticism, positive and negative? I want to go get criticism so I can learn from it, so I can get better and implement it relentlessly. But I want that negative criticism too, because that's my motivation. That's my chip on my shoulder. Ronnie, differently, thrives with criticism. Thrives with it. And the last one is the mindset around the success of others. The mindset around the success of others. You are only as successful as you make other people successful. You're only as successful as the other people that you make successful. Right? Johnny feels threatened from others' success. He feels threatened. Even if there's enough success for everyone, like job opportunities, or like in the wide receiver room when I was at Ole Miss, there was people that were like this. There's enough for success to go around. Or in the sales office when you guys have different territories, but like, hey, I don't want that guy to be more successful than I do. He doesn't want other people to see other people succeed more than him. Why? Because he's freaking insecure. He's insecure. If you haven't realized it yet, Johnny is insecure as hell. He's insecure. Bonnie, on the other hand, growth mindset, motivates, inspires, and helps others, because when you do that, you'll make other people better, which will make you better. So Bonnie goes out and actively wants to motivate people in her office, on her team, in her classroom, wants to help others, wants to inspire others to be better, because she knows if other people are better, then she'll be better. Right? But Ronnie, on the other hand, Ronnie does the same thing, but instead of making them better, he wants to make them number one, and then goes back and beats them. Ronnie does all that stuff, motivates, inspires, helps, but he doesn't just want them to get better. He wants them to be number one, so they can be at the top, and then he can come back and beat them. And then he wants to make them better and make them number one again. And then he wants to go back and win again. He wants to make people number one. We want to make people a lot of people think that in order for them to be successful, they have to pull other people down. No. In order to be successful, we have to pick other people up. I want everybody around me. I want my competition to get better, because I know that's going to make me get better. Right? I'll never forget. I spoke one time for an MLM group, and one of their biggest things was that they had these conferences and they have all these people, all these team members, and they all were like not wanting each other to do well, because they were like, oh, well, this person gets the incentive and this person this. And I was like, whoa, are you guys out of your mind? Don't you want them to get better so that it forces you to get better? Because at the end of the day, you're just going to make more. Why would you not want them to do better? Then you're not going to make more. So I hope that puts some perspective into you. It's like, hey, look at the people around you, in your classroom, in your office, on your team, right? How do you help inspire, motivate, and support and help others to make them number one, so that you can come back, circle back, and beat them? And you can regain number one again. What does that look like for you? And real quick, before we get towards the end here, I know we're in time. How to develop a relentless mindset in others. How do we lead others? Oh, let me see. It's this way. There we go. How do we lead others to develop a relentless mindset? Not a fix, not a growth, but a relentless. And how do we keep them there? How do we do that? Because we talked about this. You can go relentless to growth, to fix, to relentless to, you could slide, you could shift. How do we get there and stay there? Leaders, executives, managers, parents, educators, encourage hard work. Leaders encourage hard work. We talked about that a little bit in the beginning. They reward hard work, not just the end result. Again, parents, same thing. You develop a growth mindset, right? Or a relentless mindset by encouraging hard work, encouraging the resiliency, the not quitting. That's the growth mindset. To develop a relentless mindset is encouraging hard work, rewarding hard work, and also rewarding the outcome. That's what the growth mindset is missing. They don't reward the outcome. It's all about rewarding the hard work, encouraging the hard work, rewarding the hard work. What we want to do is we want to encourage the hard work, help them develop the skills, form the habits, right? Then reward the hard work, reward the process, and then reward the outcome. And this is how we keep our team and ourselves in the relentless mindset. It's that simple. It's that simple. So how are you going to handle the situations in front of you? Every situation, how you handle every situation is your choice. That's the best part. It's a choice. How you handle every situation is your choice. Having that fun, excitement, the rush of success, the rush or the suffering or the suffering, right? The pain and the regret. Loving the process. What's the flip side? Victimhood. What's the flip side? Suffering. We talked about that. I think I've shared this, but I'm not sure, and I just want to wrap with this. I spent some time and I visited a bunch of nursing homes when I was doing consulting for this company for about 2 years. And and we would ask, what's the biggest regret that you have, right? And these are people that have lived their whole life. And their first biggest regret was not or letting people, like relationships, go, all right? That they wish they didn't. That was number one. Number two is what we're talking about. And that was not taking advantage of opportunities because they were worried what people think. They were worried about failing. And they didn't live the adventure because of fear, right? And that was interesting to me, like the number one thing, and you hear people talk about this all the time, right? I don't want to talk about the comfort zone and this and that. We're past that. We're past that. What we want to talk about is the adventure, is finding adventure in your life. Do you want your life to be an adventure or do you want it to be boring? I don't know. I don't want it to be boring, right? So how you handle every situation is your choice. Do you want to be fixed, boring, growth, better, or do you want to be relentless where everything's a freaking adventure? You don't know what's leading next. You're not going to settle for average. You're just not. And so the choice is yours. And so my challenge for you today, is you can be on different sides in different areas, right? You could be fixed in some areas right now, growth in some areas. And I'm going to share with you a PDF where we're going to have all 5 areas. But for now, you can write down what I'm going to do is have you write down, the one challenge you will embrace this week, the one challenge that you will act relentlessly, right? The one obstacle you will push through relentlessly. The one goal you're going to go all in with your effort. Going out and finding criticism so you could take in the feedback. And I want to challenge you to lift someone up this week. Okay? And if you want to take this a step further, which is in the PDF, which is what I suggest doing, is to write down in the past week every situation, whether it's a challenge, an obstacle, a criticism, effort, right? Is to write that down, that situation, how you handled it, and how you would handle it moving forward, right? So we can learn from our mistakes. So in all 5 categories that we talked about today, is to write down the situation, how you handled it last week, and what you would do different moving forward. Very simple. Very simple. And so it'd take you about 30 minutes to knock through this, but I definitely highly suggest doing it. Do any of you have any questions? I want to make sure to answer any questions on this. I know we're over today, but this is important, very important topic. So do any of you have any? I don't see any. Okay. If you do have questions, you know where to find. All right. So very simple challenge today, and moving forward, as always, is to take relentless action. So some of you be like, oh, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do it tomorrow, and I'm going to do it. No. If you can, find 20 minutes today. Find 20 minutes right now. If you have time right now, 20 minutes, knock it out. If you have to wait until later tonight, knock it out. But if you say tomorrow, it's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to go back and watch the whole replay over again, right? No. Today. Knock it out today, and I challenge you to do that. All right? All right, it's an amazing Monday. I hope you had a good time here with me. I know I had a good time with you. I love these. As much as they pump you up, they pump me up. I get so freaking excited to put these together and to do them. And so I hope all of you have an amazing week. Because you are. It's first quarter. We're getting towards the end of the first quarter here. But listen, have an amazing week. Have an amazing day. And take action, yo. Take action on the challenge. And I will see all of you next Monday morning. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Next Play podcast. If you liked the show, make sure to leave us a review. For more resources, visit relentlessuniversity.com or download the free Relentless University app. And if you're interested in having me speak at your next event, visit relentlessrichie.com. Until next time.